Hello, everyone. It's Anonymous Sneak. Hope everyone is having a wonderful evening out there, or day, or wherever you may be at in this world. Hope you are having a awesome, peaceful day. As promised, I'm going to be coming back on here with the book of Ezekiel, and we are in the 15th chapter. So today I'm going to be reading the 15th and 16th chapter for you all. Shall we begin? And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is the vine tree more than any tree, or than a branch which is among the trees of the forest? Shall wood be taken thereof to do any work, or will men take a pin of it to hang any vessel thereon? Behold, it is cast into the fire for fuel. The fire devoureth both the ends of it, and the midst of it burned. Is it meat for any work? Behold, when it was whole, it was meat for no work. How much less shall it meet yet for any work, when the fire hath devoured it, and it is burnt? Therefore saith the Most High, as the vine tree among the trees of the forest, which I have given to the fire for fuel, so will I give the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will set my face against them. They shall go out from one fire, and another fire shall devour them. And ye shall know that I am the Most High, when I set my face against them, and I will make the land desolate, because they have committed a trespass, says the Most High. Again, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say thus to the Most High and to Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was Amorite, and thy mother Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither wast thou washed in water to supply thee. Thou wast not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. None I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee. To have compassion upon thee, but thou wast cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou wast born. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou hast in thy blood, live. I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great. And thou art come to excellent ornaments, thy breasts are fashioned, and thy hair has grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swore unto thee and entered into the covenant with thee, saith the Most High, and thou becamest mine. Then washed I thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger's skin, and I guarded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. Thou wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy remnant was a fine linen, and silk, and broidered work. Thou dost eat fine flour, and honey, and oil, and thou wast exceeding beautiful, and thou didst proper unto a kingdom. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect, thorough, my comeliness, I'm sorry, y'all, which I had put upon thee, saith the Most High. But thou didst trust in thy own beauty. Ooh, let me read that one again. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown, and pouredst out thy fornications on every one that passed by. His it was. And of thy garments thou didst take, and decked thy high places with divers colors, and playedst the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them. And that is speaking about the false idols and all, the graven images and everything else that people have made themselves today. Don't matter what it is. If it's not of the Most High, yeah, it's a false image, idol. People have made idols their gods and worship them. Just look at what's going on. My goodness. And we continue. And tookest thy broidered garments, and coveredst them. And thou hast set mine oil and my incense before them. My meat also, which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee. Thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, saith the Most High. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is it of thy whoredoms a small matter? And let me say this: no, it is not a small matter. It's a very huge matter of what's going on today, and it's all coming into fruition. That thou hast slain my children and delivered them, to cause them to pass through the fire with them and for them. And in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou wast naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. And it come to pass, after all the wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith the Most High. Thou that hast also built into thee an eminent place, and hast made thee an high place in every street. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of thy way, and hast made thy beauty to be abhorred. And hast opened thy feet to every one that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and has increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Let me read that one again for everyone who did not hear it. Really listen to this. Thou hast also committed fornications with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and has increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Okay. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and I have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee into the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Palestines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. And yes, because our people are of a stiff-necked people. They refuse to come back. They refuse to turn from their wicked ways and their worshiping of idols, false gods, pagan holidays, all of that. Yes, you have provoked the Most High to anger. And all he did was give onto your ways. And I don't understand why everybody doesn't see how this affects you by doing all of this and following the ways of the heathen. Thou hast played the whore also with the Azarines, because thou was unstable, yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. And I've come to see that of a lot of stuff that I see, people aren't it's like people never are satisfied. They always want more, 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 especially when it comes to this the dollar, stuff like that. They always want more. It's a good thing when you satisfied, when you are satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou was not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart, saith the Most High, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of a empress whorish woman. In that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thy high place in every street, and has not been in as an harlot, and that thou scornest hire, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come into thee on every side for thy whoredom. And the contrary is in thee from other women, in thy whoredoms. Whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give into them. Man, I hope somebody got that. I hope somebody got it. Behold, therefore, I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure. And make no mistake, y'all, he's talking about Babylon. We talking about Babylon here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You see, when we read this book, we need to have discernment, and you need to learn how to decode, scriptures. Because a lot of people, get stuff messed up and are confused. Okay? Behold, thereof, I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all of them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee. I will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock and shed blood are judged, and I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. I will also give into their hand, and thou shalt throw down thy eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels and leave thee naked and bare. They shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thereof thee through with their swords. Mm. Ain't nothing new under the sun, you all. Nothing new. And thou shalt burn thine houses with fire and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou shalt give no hire any more. You all better understand how angry the Most High is, okay? And understand how to really break this down. When he's talking about, his people, you know. So I will make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet and will be no more angry, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, and hast fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore, I also will recompense thy way upon thine head, saith the Most High. And thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thine abominations. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Mercy. Thou art their mother's daughter, that loadeth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters. Babylon. Which loadeth their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father Amorite, and thine elder sister a Samariah. She and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at the right hand, is Sodom and her daughters. Y'all better understand this. Y'all better understand what's going on and who these scriptures is talking about right now. Okay? Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if that were a very little thing, thou wast corrupted more than they in all thy ways. As I live, saith the Most High, Sodom, thy sister, hath not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, thou and thy daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. Sure didn't. Sure didn't. What they like to say? The rich get rich while the poor get poor, right? Right? That's the famous saying, right? And thy were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Neither has Samaria committed half of thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thine abominations more than they. I'm sorry, y'all. And has justified thy sisters in all thine abominations which thou hast done. Thou also, which hast judged thy sisters, bear thine own shame for thy sins, and thou hast committed more abominable than they. They are more righteous than thou. Yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame, and that thou hast justified thy sisters. Whew. Mm-hmm. When I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of thine captives in the midst of them, that thou mayest bear thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that thou hast done, and that thou art a comfort unto them. When thy sister Sodom and her daughters shall return to their former estate, And Tamar and her daughters shall return to their former estate. Then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by thy mouth in the day of thy pride, before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Sariah. And all round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thine abomination, saith the Most High. For thus saith the Most High, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done, which has despised the oath in breaking the covenant. You understand me. Breaking of the covenant. Most High is not playing, you all. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish unto thee an everlasting covenant. Hallelujah. Then thou shalt remember thy ways and be ashamed when thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder, and thy younger. And I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant. And I will establish my covenant with thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Most High, that thou mayest remember, and be confounded, and never open thy mouth any more because of thy shame, when I am pacified toward thee for all that thou hast done, saith the Most High. And we're going to stop there. And again, I was reading Ezekiel 15 and 16th chapter. And I hope, like I always tell you all, open a book, get the scriptures, crack it open, read it for yourself. Don't take my word for anything. I'm giving, my opinions and what I want to say. Get some understanding, ask for some discernment, okay? And really get to understand this and decode, because a lot of people, it's like confused and they're confused, you know what I'm saying? But yes, I hope you all enjoyed that. And I will be back on here again, finishing it, because I'll be reading all of Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel. But I hope you all have a beautiful day. Peace and shalom.